Welcome to St. Peter's Episcopal Church in downtown Salisbury, Maryland. I'm Daniel Cherrix, Director of Music. Today we are fortunate to have with us Dr. Sharon Clark, soprano from the St. Peter's Choir, and church musician in residence Taylor Harvey. Sharon is going to sing for us one of her favorite solos. And then after that, she and I are going to talk a little bit about why she chose that piece, about the composer, and about what makes Sharon a singer. So I'm very grateful to have Sharon and Taylor here with me today. Thank you for being here. Without further ado, Dr. Sharon Clark.
Thank you, Daniel. Though I speak with the tongues of men and
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sharon. Very much. That was lovely. Now I'd like to ask Sharon a few questions, if you'll pardon me 1 second. I guess, first of all, Sharon, tell us about your background and about, I'm going to move this so I can see you. How did all this musical stuff get started? Tell us about your background. As I said earlier, the Sharon the singer.
Well, I'd like to take just a second to say thank you to Taylor and to you for this opportunity. Sharon was born into a musical family. I was expected to be in music, whether I wanted to or not, just as I was expected to be a learner my whole life. There were a lot of people, it took a lot of people in a village to bring me to where I am today. I figured out 11 people, beginning with my accordion lessons at age 9 and singing in the church choir.
Your what kind of lessons?
Accordion lessons, which we don't talk about a whole lot because playing the accordion makes people think about polkas and beer barrels and stuff like that. So, but once you start admitting that you play the accordion, you find out there are other people who are not talking about it either.
Closet accordion players.
But playing the accordion was a wonderful experience for me as I grew up because I actually played in groups of different sizes. We went all over the place in competitions. I learned not to get nervous about things like that. We even appeared on TV when it was just beginning in the good old days. But the hook was, my father said if I learned how to play the accordion that he'd buy me a piano, which he finally did when I was in high school. And I continued taking piano lessons until my senior year. Then I went off to college, and my musical experience in college was mostly with the sorority. You know, I played the piano for Rush events, and I appeared in skits. Kappa Kappa Gamma. But it was a fun experience, and it kept me doing music, which was the important thing. The last semester of my senior year, I happened to go to GW University and took a semester of organ with a man who is a well-known and very accomplished organist, Norman Scribner, and he wanted me to continue, so he took me over to the National Cathedral and let me touch the organ there. Again, a hook, you know, and he really would like for me to have continued, but I had to go to work. My husband was in seminary in Alexandria, and so I became a teacher there. Well, when we moved while we were still in Baltimore, we moved to Baltimore, and while we were there, I got involved with the Baltimore Comic Opera Company and was fortunate to have the lead in a Felix Mendelssohn opera that was called The Happiest Girl in the World. I try to live up to that. And then when we moved to Salisbury, I joined the choral society at SU and community singers and community players, and had a lead in carousel with the community players. And eventually, with Ray Ziegler and Robert Smith at SU, I was a lead in a Stephen Sondheim play downtown on the 3rd story of a wooden structure. Outside in the summer, and it was absolutely wonderful.
Like the Globe Theater.
Like the Globe, just like that, just like of course, yeah.
Right on the River Thames, right on the River Wacomico.
River Wacomico. And so then I was enticed to come to St. Peter's Church to sing in the choir. By John Holland, with the promise of being paid. And because I needed that, I came, and I've never left.
Good.
Well, the money stopped, but I didn't.
And weren't there like 8 paid singers in the choir at that point or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
So
we had a lot of fun, by the way. John used to do things like put Easter baskets in the pews when we'd come in here from the procession, and you'd hear jelly beans rolling around a lot of time. But I've found out from Taylor and Daniel that this business of humor never stops with musicians. They just keep it going.
Well, life's pretty funny.
It is.
Now, we've got about 3 minutes left. Tell me briefly why singing and not accordion or organ or piano or ukulele?
Singing has been a portable opportunity. I can go to various places and do it as long as my voice holds out. Usually it involves singing in a group of people whom I enjoy a lot. I find it's worshipful. It's how I worship, really. It's joyful, it's educational, and it is healthful. A lot of articles about that lately.
Absolutely.
I like being part of a community.
Good. Now, in 45 seconds or less, tell me about the piece that you sang for us. First of all, let me say that a couple of weeks ago we were going to have this extended prelude for February 14th. That prelude, while we had an extended prelude, didn't turn out quite the way we thought it was going to. I had asked Sharon to sing this piece, knowing that it's one of her favorites. The 14th was Valentine's Day, love your neighbor, bring your neighbor. Anyway, Sharon didn't get to sing that day, so I asked her to do it today. Now, tell me about this composer, about this piece, your connection.
Well, Roberta Bitgood, I should say Dr. Bitgood, was quite a role model for me, as it turns out, but I didn't know that when I first was asked to sing this as a solo. I just loved singing it. And over the years, I came to realize it reflects my life philosophy, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. And in thinking about doing this today, I looked up. I researched Roberta Bitgood and found out that this was her first published piece of work and followed many, many, many more after that. She had quite an illustrious career. Though she was a wife and a mother, she still maintained playing for churches until she was 99 years old. And in the middle of that time, she was the first woman to get her doctorate in sacred music, and only the 12th individual to do so. She got it from Union Theological Seminary, and she was also voted the first woman to be the national president of the American Guild of Organists. So at a time in history, she was born in, she died in 2007, I think, late 1800s. So yeah, phenomenal thing for a woman at that time.
Sharon, thank you for sharing your gifts, not only today, but always here at St. Peter's and beyond. And Taylor Harvey, thank you for being our church musician in residence. Folks, we'll